Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 5-3, units of time. So before we go on and start figuring out the units of time here that we're going to be working with today, I want to quickly go over a couple that we've been working on the last couple lessons. I want to convert 3 kilograms to how many grams? I want to also do 14 grams into how many milligrams? And yeah, let's do those two on your own. Then unpause it, and we'll do them together. Okay. Hopefully you realized the first thing to do, and this is the same thing that we'll be doing today for our unit of time. You need to figure out what they're asking. They want to know how many grams are in 3 kilograms. So first off, you should know that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So, if there's 3 kilograms, that 1 has been multiplied by 3, so you must multiply that by 3 to give yourself 3,000 grams. Next one is the opposite direction, because we want to know how many milligrams are in 14 grams. I guess it's not the opposite direction, it's just we're going even further down, even smaller. Well, if you remember, there are the word milli. The prefix milli would mean 1,000 of. So we have 1,000 milligrams are equal to 1 gram. So 14 of them would equal 14,000 grams. Grams. Milligrams, I'm sorry. Okay, so it'll be 14,000 here. This will be 3,000. All right, so that's just a quick refresher. Because that's kind of what this whole unit is about, is talking about basically converting different units of other measurement, or like today we're working with time. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to turn to page 173. And this is basic unit of time. So this should be extremely easy. There's some you're going to need to stretch out. You have to do multi-steps to it. But the most important thing is to find out the basic of everything. So if I tell you how many seconds are in 5 minutes, well, first you need to figure out how many seconds are in 1 minute, and then you multiply it by 5. So this is pretty simple. First one is how many minutes are equal to how many seconds. So 1 minute is equal to how many seconds? You know there's 60 seconds in a minute. You know there's 60 minutes in an hour. You know there's 24 hours in a day, and there's 7 days in 1 week. Okay, these are some basic units of time. You know 1 year is equal to 365 days. You know 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. You know 1 year is equal to 12 months. And you know a leap year has an extra day. So 366. So as long as you know these basic units of time, everything else should be easy. So if you complete the tables here, you know 1 day is equal to 24, 2 would be 48 then, 3 would be 72, and 4 would be 96, because all you're doing, I guess if this were a pattern, you're adding 24 each time. How many minutes are in an hour? There's 60 minutes in 1 hour, and then in 3 hours you multiply 60 by 3, give you 180. In 5 you'd multiply 60 times 5, give you 300. And in 7, you multiply 60 times 7, which gives you 420. Okay, I want you to do number 11 and number 12 on your own. And then I'll come back and we'll do them together. Alright, so hopefully you had no problem with this one, because 3 years equals 36 months. Because you know 1 year equals 12 months. So 3 years would equal 36, because you're taking 36 multiplied by, or 12 multiplied by 3. Here you'll take you'll take 12 multiplied by 6, give yourself 72. Here you'll take 9 to multiply it by 12 to give yourself 108. And then 12 multiplied by 12 to give yourself 144. On the next one, in an hour there are 3,600 seconds. So then in 2 hours it'd be 7,200. And in 3 hours it'd be 10,800. And then 4 hours, 14,400. Okay, I'm going to skip over the next part. I want you to do that on your own in your independent station. But I do want to turn to the next page. I'm going to leave you guys some work to work on in the independent station. So, on the next page, if we're creating a line plot, that would be when you start to put little dots above the location. Okay, so the line plot displays data above a number line. Jamal asked his classmates about the time they spend reading. He organized the answers in the table. This is very similar to math projects we've done. So, time spent, 0 hours, 0 students. So there's no reason to log that. For 1/4 of an hour, 2 students. 1/5 of an hour, 1/2 of an hour, 3/4. So basically, we can create our graph. On the bottom, we could say that this is broken into 4 pieces. So 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1. There's your whole. Because it gives you 4 options to graph here, so you might as well, and it gives you 4 lines, and they're equally apart. And so are these options. So 1/4, there were 2, so 1, 2. 1/2, you had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a little bit off the chart. 3/4 had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 hour had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you drew your dots a little better than mine. So then ask questions. Most charts will have questions for you to answer. So how many classmates did Jamal ask about time spent reading? Hopefully you know that means that you would add all the total amount of people he asked. You have 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 4 more is 15. What amount of time had the most responses? Well, you should know that half hour had the most amount of responses because of 2 things here. You can either look at your frequency table here and see that 5 is the most, or you could look at your line plot and see that half hour goes the highest up. I mean, that's basically what it is. Okay, so I also want you to work on this one on your own, but not right now. We're going to go to the next page, talk about some things. I'm leaving you some work to do either at the end of this station or in independent work. You can imagine hands moving to tell how much time has passed. How many hours have passed since 12 on each clock? All right. So on this one, you're going to have to do some subtraction because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to realize the clock started at 12. Okay? How much time has passed? Well, it's now on 1. So you know, this is pretty easy. 1 hour, or you could say 60 minutes. The next one, it started at 12, and now it's on 3. So it's been 3 hours, or 180 minutes. Oh, it does ask you for how many hours and minutes. You do need to do both. I'm sorry, I missed that. Next one, it started at 12. Now we're all the way over 8 o'clock. You know the clock, the small hand will move in this direction. Actually, both hands move in that direction, but the small hand is the one that will point at the hour. So now we are at 8, so it went 8 hours. Or, well, 8 times 60 is 480, so 480 minutes. Another one here, I want you to work on these on your own. These will be a little bit trickier because I'll do one of them for you because in this case, it has moved, the hour hand has moved 2 hours, but now the big hand's moved 20 minutes. So it's moved 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the time is now 2:20. It's asking you how many hours and minutes, but it gives you the units there. And then it says what time does the clock show. So then write down what time the clock shows. Okay, so remember if the in this case if the hour hand is between the 5 and the 6, that means technically the hour would be the hand right before it, the number right before it, so that'd be 5. Okay, so and the same, I want you to finish the next 2 after the lesson, And 30, 31, and 32, they're going to have you look at the clocks. You know, you have to compare from 27 to 28, meaning if you went from 2:20 to whatever time this shows, because you haven't done it yet, I want you to talk about the time that's passed between the two times. All right, this is something you're going to do after the lesson also, in Independent Station. Okay, next are some number story problems that you're going to have to figure out based on your understanding of time. It says the school store is open for 1 hour 45 minutes. The store closes at 2:55. What time does the store open? It says the school store is open 1 hour and 45 minutes in the afternoon. The school store closes at 2:55. So one way, so you're going to realize that it gives you an hour 45 minutes. So if you want to make an equation, you could say n plus 1 hour 45 minutes equals 2:55. That's really what it is. It's only open for an hour 45 minutes, and the store closes at 2:55. So you could actually take, in this case, you're able to do this 2:55 minus 1:45 because there's no borrowing and carrying and all that fun stuff. But you should be able to tell that it opens at 1:10. Okay, so that's the time that it opens. So you're gonna have to get it. Some of them might be a little more tricky. Like Hannah starts practice at 9:45 and ends at 12:35. How long is Hannah's practice? So you could always count up there. But here's a situation where if you did, you're not getting whole numbers. So you're counting up, and it'll be less than all whole numbers, and you will be borrowing and carrying and all that fun stuff. So what I want you to do is you're going to work on this also in Independent Station. So yes, you have plenty to do in Independent Station.